Hi there guys, and welcome to another Bloudam in Extreme Angling and Marine episode. So once again I'm joined by Kevin from the shop, and if you've never visited the shop, you have to come into the shop. If you're used to extreme fishing, this is the same shop, just a little bit bigger. Same prices, so you can either go extreme fishing or extreme angling marine. But if you haven't been to the shop, come in and browse, come check out the stuff that they've got. And thank you once again, Kevin, for joining us. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the new Big Boss Pro. So you all know the old Big Boss, and you even have the Rovex TFX, if I remember correctly. That's a younger brother. So we've come used to the Big Boss.
Yeah.
For so many years, you've had the Big Boss 1, you've had the Big Boss 2, you've had the Big Boss 3, and now we've got the Big Boss Pro.
Yeah.
And they've also brought out the TFX, the younger brother. The
little bit more budget friendly Rovex.
Budget friendly. But yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Then we are also going to be talking about these little boys. Okay. So red crabs, fishing with red crabs. I'm going to do a bait presentation on how to fish with red crabs. So yeah, stay tuned for that as well. And if you like these videos, leave a little comment. Let's see if we can break the internet, even if it's just a little smiley face, but leave a comment. What bait presentation would you like to see next? Even if you don't want to use that, a smiley face will also do. And subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to the 100,000 subscribers, so please guys subscribe. But yeah, Kev, let's talk about fish that came out first. Let's do that first.
Fish that came out, the cobweb on the bite. We had quite a bit of cob.
I saw Uncle Mac caught some nice cob.
Uncle Mac caught some nice cob. The guys in Mussel Bay was on fire as well. The Bochums, Dana Bay, Nautilus area as well. Quite a few cobs that came out. Steenies as well.
Oh, nice. Bigger ones or
about those, just about 80 to a meter.
Oh, that's nice size.
Steenies,
that's big. That's bigger steenies. Yeah, that's nice.
The shad was on the bite. The guys were catching. Everybody's putting in that last
little bit before the season closes.
And it's actually, I don't know if it's a surprise, but there's some bigger shad biting now.
I saw the bigger ones that are still coming out. So it's nice to see those, not those just size ones. It's nice big ones coming out.
It's not the small ones, but it's those nice edible, nice pan-sized fish that's coming out. So the guys must get out there. They must go and see what's happening. The season is turning. The summer is on the coming. So we getting some nice fish. The crackers are on the bite as well.
Crackers as well, and that's why we're doing the red bait. One of my favorite baits for a cracker. I know that crackers like your red baits and your armadillo and alikrekel. There's a lot of different baits, but I prefer a red crab for my crapper. That's definitely my favorite bait for crackers. Kev, on that, we just spoke about the Galjoen season. Galjoen season closes 14th, 15th of October.
Yeah. If I'm right, it's the 14th of
14th
October.
Of October that it closes.
Yeah.
And then shad?
Shad closes on the 1st of October.
1st of October it's closed.
Yeah, there was some confusion that
that's
it
already
closed on the 1st of September. But that's old legislation that they changed many years ago, decades ago, to the 1st of October. And since then, with the confusion, there has been some documentation that came out that says that there was an error and that it has been rectified, and to clarify that it is from the 1st of October close season.
And then 1st of December it opens up again.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the same as your red steambras. And we had on the one group, I saw there's a couple of guys asking questions because juvenile red steenies from the side. There's been 2 reports of juvenile red steenies that was caught from the side, and the guys actually weren't sure what fish it was. That's how rare that fish is to catch it off the side. So the anglers were not exactly sure, but red steenie, 70 centimeters if I remember correctly, and also closed from 1st of October to 1st of December. Same as the shad, closed season for red steenies.
It is a red listed fish. So the guys, instead of keeping it, I recommend letting it go.
Definitely.
Those are breeding stock. In the old days, I know that the guys were fishing from the side. They were getting bucky loads full of
Yeah,
them.
I know.
And it has been overfished, and that's why you don't get them that much along the beaches.
It was closed for many
Or along
years.
the rocks.
Red season was red season was completely closed,
Yeah.
and then they opened it up again. Only one allowed per angler per day. And we've actually seen with the spearfishing, we've actually seen how that when it was totally closed, how that has gotten stocks back up. The fishing stocks of the red steen issue. When we're spearfishing and when we're out deep sea fishing, we see a lot of those juvenile red steenies starting to get into the system. So that closed off of red steen was completely closed off. Definitely worked for the couple of years that it was closed off. So please, guys, stick to your bag limits, stick to your sizes, and stick to the closed seasons as well. There's a reason that there's a closed season. That is their breeding time. We're just giving them that little bit of time so that they actually can breed. So stick to your limits and your closed seasons.
Definitely.
Okay, so definitely fish to target. There's such a wide variety at this moment that we can target. That I know cob. Everybody wants to catch a big cob. So there's been reports of a couple of nice of these 30-kilogram cobs that come out. Your 10 to 12 kilograms have been in abundance. The smaller ones has been. So I would definitely recommend going for cob. Live bait and chokka and octopus leg is definitely the bite of choice at the moment. And I even got somebody that sent me a WhatsApp and said that your little squid bait, that chokka head bait, they caught a 60 centimeter cob on that bait. So well done. If you haven't checked out that episode, Kevin did a beautiful bait presentation where he showed us how to do a chokka head with little tentacles and everything. Really, really nice bait. And I'm so happy that one of the subscribers actually caught a fish on that specific bait that he did. Shad fishing, there's also an episode out that Kev did a shad with a bullshit. Beautiful. How to make your own traces, or you can just come in and buy a trace, but a beautiful bait presentation for shad fishing. A couple of the guys came in and they used that same method, and they also got their shads. They got their shads with that specific method that you showed.
So it's lucky to know that it works for not just for me but for other people as well. Definitely. And so that just makes it worthwhile to share the knowledge and share the experience and get the guys fishing.
Okay, so let's talk about this new. I know that the guys were going crazy on what the prices are for these ones. Kev, what is the changes from your Big Boss 3 to a Big Boss Pro?
Well, the major upgrade to it or change to the reel is the cosmetics of it. You'll see that the old Big Boss 4s has at the turquoise, blue, and silver. These reels have come out with almost like a gold silver,
almost like a metallic, or charcoal kind of.
It's a darker color. So the reel looks aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It's going to look very nice on your rod. That's for sure. The second thing that you pick up immediately on these reels are your power handles that come with it. So they got the same size power handle on the 8000 and they got it on the 6000. So what's nice is a lot of guys spin with the 6000s as well, like on that 1 to 4 ounce or that type of rods. And what's nice is when you're spinning and you cast it, as soon as your lure hits the water, you want to grab the handle.
You don't have to.
So you don't have to look for it and search for it and stuff.
You don't have to, because the other handles, you have to have it in a specific way in your hand. With the power handle, you can just grab it and go for it.
The power handle, you can just grab it and you go. And what's nice is the power handle, it's a thing that I picked up is, as soon as you see a reel with a power handle, you know that the gears of the reel can handle a little bit more torque, a little bit more force. Because normally if you use a smaller reel, you're going to use just your forearm to reel. But if you go to a power handle, you got your shoulder, you got your back muscles, everything there, putting more force on the gears to reel in that fish or reel in that bait. So that's what I picked up on them. The other major upgrade here is the old Big Boss 3s had a bit of a thinner bail arm. So they they made the bail arm a little bit thicker, just for that. It's one of the working parts on the reels. And then at the end of the day, what I like about it is they closed up the holes in the spool.
Okay.
So wading, along the beach, the wind's blowing. You can't get sand in there anymore. The water is not going to go in and pool inside the reel. I know that the older big bosses work very nicely on the kayaks, because if you tipped over, or if a wave hit you, or so, the water drained out.
Okay.
But sometimes they pull up a little bit inside, and that thing can go inside the reel as you go. So I think this is going to be quite a nice game changer to the market. It's going to pull up quite a lot of fish over the time.
Sizes that it comes in?
Comes in a 4,000, a 6,000, and a 8,000, the same as the Big Boss 3s.
I see that 4,000 also, the handle is a little bit different, but they still got the power handle on it, but
these
it's more plastic.
Yeah, it's got a plastic with an aluminium pinning in there, or aluminium screw in there. What it does is just makes the handle a little bit lighter, and it makes the reel a bit lighter compared to a bigger power handle. So for the guys spinning on the lighter setups, this is still going to be a very nice, versatile, durable reel to use for fishing on those reels. And price-wise, we're starting in at about $1,100, $1,099 on a 4,000, and then we're going up to $1,429 on a 6,000. And then your big boy, the 8,000, comes in at 1,549.
That's decent prices.
That's
I must say that's value for money.
And there is a bit of an increase from the older Big Boss 3s, but if you take into account what just the Gomex's handle will cost you, aftermarket power handle will cost you on a reel, you're looking at $300 to $500. So for $100 more, just the power handle upgrade is already worth the money. So affordability, durability, and the reel's overall success in the market, and for the success of all the anglers that's bought one. I think it's the reel that's sold nationwide.
Oh, definitely.
The most. It's
I can still remember that when Big Boss 1 came, it was 450 Rand for the Big Boss, and that sold out so quickly. The next time it came in was like 600 Rand, and the next time it came in was 800 Rand, because they couldn't keep up with it. It's all about supply and demand. So as soon as there's a big demand for something, they are going to push the prices up. And the demand for the Big Boss has been so big that they've gone to the Big Boss 2, 3, and now obviously they've come out with the Pro every single time, improving a little bit on an already good product.
Yes.
So that's why I think everybody was very excited when the news hit that there's a Big Boss Pro on the market. Everybody that has a Big Boss is definitely going for the upgrade. But they seem to last.
They do.
If you look after them, if you rinse them, but some of the anglers even say they don't wash their reels like for 3-4 years, and they've been fishing with their big bosses, and they've never had any problems with their big bosses. So it really, these ones they've proven themselves. The Big Boss has proven himself. Very interested to see what the Big Boss Pro is going to do over the next couple of years.
Interesting fact about them is actually that their handles are interchangeable with the Big Boss 3s.
Okay.
So you will be able, if you break off a reel or a handle on one of the previous models, you can fit one of these new ones with the handles on there as well. And then if you got one that might not work out, or that you've got at home that has something wrong with it or so, when you get a new one, the older spool should also fit on it.
So you can order a spool or a handle. If you're looking for something, you can come in and order a new spool or a new handle, and it will still fit on your Big Boss 3.
It will still fit.
Okay, so, that's awesome.
So that just completes, or just goes on with I almost want to say, like, the reliability.
Definitely.
And the supply of them. Awesome stuff.
So come into store, come and buy yourself a 6,000 Big Boss Pro. And then get yourself one of the braid specials that they've got going on. Maybe go for that Forge. That Forge 12 plus 1 strand braid. Put that on your Big Boss Pro. And then you're going to go and get yourself some red crabs. And then you're going to go and fish. So I'm going to show you today a little bit of my bait presentation. And I always say this is not necessarily the best way, but this is the way that I've been doing it. And this is the way that's been working for me personally. So a red crab, let's first start off with a red crab. So I'm going to first show you this. That is, and I specifically took out a female crab as well to show you the difference. That is a male crab. You can see that little box there underneath has got a sharp point, and it's a lot smaller. If you look at the female crab there, you can see that it's a wide, rounder one. So that's the difference between the male crab and the female crab. So that's like a longer, thinner little bonnet there at the bottom, and that's a rounder, fuller one. So I know that a lot of the guys previously, when I did bait presentations with a female crab, a lot of them say that don't take out the female crabs. But guys, if you're struggling and you have to take a female crab, it's not illegal. A lot of people don't even know the difference between a female and a male crab. But if you see a female crab with eggs, leave those ones.
Yeah.
It's the same when you're taking out pink prawns and it's full of eggs. Put those ones back. You want to still catch fish for plenty of years. Your kids want to catch fish. So if you want to use red crabs, put the ones with the eggs back, guys. And if possible, stick to the males. So just a handy little tip there. Okay, guys. So I've got the BKK, what do you call it? The red octopus beak. A very, very, very nice hook. But that is a very specific area that I would fish with that. J-hook is a lot simpler to get into a red crab. It's a little bit more difficult to get a circle hook into a red crab. But if you're going to fish areas where there's a lot of red bait heads in the water, your J-hook's going to get stuck every single time. These hooks are so sharp that as soon as it hooks somewhere in a red bait head, that's going to be stuck. So it's going to be stuck. It's going to get stuck. Even if it's just floating around, it's stuck. It easily sticks. So if you see there's a lot of red bait heads around, I prefer to stay away from your J-hooks. But a very nice hook. Then I've got the BKK inline heavies. You get them inline, you get them offset. This is definitely one of my preferred hooks. The heavy, because you're fishing for cracker. Your main target species when you're fishing with red crab is your crackers. And we've all seen those hooks getting bent open. Yes, we've all heard those stories where you catch a 10, 12 kilogram cracker on a 1 or 2 circle hook or a hook. You're lucky. I've seen hooks getting straightened by big crackers. So I prefer the heavy. I've got the competition 8 competitions here as well from BKK. Because you're going up to an 8, you are going onto a stronger hook. But you can definitely go with your BKK inline circle offset or inline. A 4-0, very nice versatile hook if you've got a smaller crab. Because you're fishing heavy hook, it's a thicker gauge on the bottom. You will be able to land your cracker with that. They're going to struggle to bend that thing open.
And the thing on the competition circles is it's got a very wide gap on it.
It does.
So targeting a bigger cracker, you can have, I think, a better hookup.
Yes.
With a competition, BKK competition circle with that bigger gap on it, to get around that big jaw of the cracker. Compared to what you might get on like a smaller hook or a smaller size circle.
Definitely. Okay, so let's start off. I've got my trusted Maxima Ultra Green 0.75. So it's also one of those things where a lot of guys are going to say 0.75 is too light for cracker fishing, but
that's what works for you.
What I've experienced is if you're fishing for cracker with red crab, especially with red crab, if you've got a bait that stretch that line straight.
Secret.
Oh no, it didn't work.
No.
I must stretch a little bit
Put
harder.
some muscle in it.
Let's stretch a little bit more. Let's see. This one's hard. There we go. A little bit straighter. A little bit straighter. Okay. So when you're fishing with red crab, the chances of picking up a galjoen, a big galjoen, is very good. So that's why I prefer to go 0.75. As soon as you go thicker, you go to your 0.80 or even a 1 mil. Some of the guys when they're fishing for cracker, they like to bully it. They like to hold on to it. They want to go for a 1 mil leader. You will not be able to get those galjoen. They are finicky. So galjoen you would normally fish with a 0.65. So I'm jumping up to 0.75, and it just opens up that possibility for a big galjoen as well. I've even caught big coarse on red crab as well. They will also take a smaller red crab. So you'll be surprised what size crab a galjoen will pick up. You will be surprised, those 50 centimeters gallies, they will pick up a big red crab. So
if they're hungry, they want to bite.
If they're hungry, they want to bite. So I'm going to show you on the 8-0. Let's say you are going for cracker. I'm going to show you on the 8-0. So we've got that question again. Normal 8 figure 8, or do we snell?
Well, with the bigger fish that you're targeting, I would do the figure 8 on the hook.
On the shank or normal?
On the shank.
Okay, so I almost do this by feel on the day.
Yeah.
As soon as you do any line on the shank, you've got that tag end. That's going to make trouble for you. You want to leave a little bit of a tag end so that it can't pull out. So as soon as you want to put that hook through the crab, that tag end causes a lot of trouble for you.
Okay.
So sometimes I do prefer to just do a normal figure 8.
Yeah.
Just a normal figure 8 on the hook. It's not because the hook is inside and you are tying the feet on the line. It's not like it's a free hanging hook that needs to hang from that side out. Okay. From the back end out, from the inside, so that you need that angle on the hook. Yeah. You're going to tie the line onto the crab's feet in any case. So it's not going to have any effect. It's not going to have the same effect as a free hanging bait that you want either straight or you want an angle.
Yes.
So that's why.
So that actually gives you, then you don't have to.
You don't have to snell, or you don't have to do a figure 8 on the shank. So I'm going to do my normal figure 8 on the line, like Kevin showed us the last time.
So
he opens up the 8.
Yeah, some of the guys use the would have done this with octopus bait. Then also if you take the hook up the line, or the octopus toe up the line, you also don't need to snell it.
You don't, because you're already putting the bait on the line. You're losing that effect where the hook has to be on an angle, on a circle hook.
So to have it on the angle, it would be then preferred to use a dangle rather than
on a dangle. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because your hook's not in the bait.
Yes.
But as soon as you hook's in the bait and you're tying cotton onto your line, you're losing that whole effect of the snell in any case.
I had a few guys in the shop as well that has asked me, when they're fishing for galjoen as well, do they have to use a snell knot, or can they just tie the figure 8 on?
Well, if you're going to tie your red bait onto your line, there's no use in the snell knot.
And
that is the purpose of the snell knot.
That's basically what I told them as well.
Okay. So with your line, pull that tight. And I'm just going to snip off the tag and leave a small little piece. Okay. So now if you see if you're snelling it, you're going to have your line roundabout on that angle. And that's going to be your angle that you want. But because the line's going to go onto the leg's going to go onto the bait, it doesn't help. Yeah. Okay. So there's a couple of ways that you can actually use your crab. And that all depends on the water. So I'm not going to give you all the tricks. Yeah. But I am going to tell you that when you are fishing more calmer water, more clearer water, when the fish are hunting more on sight, then you can use a lot of more legs, and you can use more legs
to put more movement in the water.
To put a little bit more movement in the water. So if you want movement, then you're going to put all the legs on.
Yeah.
If you want a smaller bait, and a bait that's not going to go everywhere, and a rough sea that's going to tangle up, then you cut more of the legs off. So I'm first going to show you the way that you can go. Okay, so Dirkie, actually I learned a lot from Dirkie about fishing with red crab. So you want to go in between those legs. There's a little soft spot. See how easily that hook slides in there. So then in between the legs, a little bit of a soft spot. Then you want to try and come out right in the middle. You want to try and come out right there in the middle. Now, because that tag end is showing backwards, you can actually pull that hook through. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but now you can pull that hook through.
There we go. Almost there, almost.
There we go. Now you pull that hook through. And then you're going to go back through that same hole. So you want to try and bring your hook out in between those legs in that soft spot. You want to try and bring that hook out again. So you're going to go in that same spot.
And the line will lay in the same hole through it.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So and there you come out again. And you can pull that line tight there. Okay. So there you've got, close that up there. There we go. So there you've got your hook. Nice, it's hidden, but it's still proud.
Yes.
So you've got that line hidden and proud.
And with a circle, you don't want to have the hooks gap in the hook to be closed up too much.
No.
because otherwise it can't go around,
Yes.
especially with a hard bait like a crab that's going to be able, if you close up the whole gap of the hook, there's nowhere for it to push. Where with red bait, you can close it up a little bit.
Close up
and
a
it
little
will
bit,
move a bit.
but what I've also found with, especially fishing with your harder baits for crackers, that thing will crush a crab.
Yeah.
Even if your hook is a little bit inside, it's still fine because a cracker really comes in with power and it crushes a bait. Okay. So you can, but I prefer my hook to be to be a little bit more exposed.
Yeah.
But even if the hook is like that, it will still, if you're fishing a 6-0, you're not going to have that big hook coming out. Even if you're fishing a 4-0, if you want to target cracker and Galjoen on your crab, you can go 4-0. That cracker will come and crush that crab completely. If you pick up a cracker on a crab, if you miss the fish and you come out, that thing is pop. It is crushed. That cracker crushed that crab.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I put my hook. Come on, get the hook out. And then what I am going to do is I'm only going to take 2 feet. Remember, this is the bait that I said. We're looking for movement. So I'm only going to take 2 feet. And this is the most important part, is where you actually tie it onto your line. So you can go with a little bit more cotton right here at the edge of the feet.
Keep it in place.
You can go with a little bit more cotton right there. And then you just want to go on the line, a little bit on the line, so that the line stays in place. And then you're going to go onto your crab itself. And then you're going to secure that hook. So you can put, because this is a hard bait, when you're fishing with a red bait or something like that, it's a soft bait.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess around with too much cotton. But this is already a hard bait. So you can actually put a lot of cotton on here because of it's hard.
Yeah.
They're not going to feel the cotton so much. But you want to go crisscross, make sure that that hook is nice and secured in the middle. You can even go a couple of times around your hook. And then I know there's a knot that some guys do when they finish off their cotton, like a little bit of a loop.
Yeah, you just make like an overhand granny knot.
Granny knot, but a very simple way, especially when you're fishing and you have a lot of bait to tie. Yeah. So hold your finger, wrap it around your finger 5 or 6 times, and then break it off. And as you're sliding your finger off, all of those lines actually tangle.
Sure.
And they all tangle into each other, and it doesn't go loose.
Well, yeah,
so you can do that little granny knot, but you can just hold your finger there, go 5 or 6 times, make sure that they tangle up on your finger before you let them go.
Okay.
So that's a nice little trick. And now you can see you've got all that fingers moving. You've got a lot of movement in the water, and that is as natural a crab bait as you can find.
That's a very nice bait.
That is a very natural crab bait. If that sits in the water with a hook in it, that still looks like a complete whole crab.
Yeah,
so that's the first bait that I would throw when I get to the water. After that, you can start playing a little bit around.
Yeah.
With different ways to fish your crab. So one way that you can make this a little bit of a smaller bait. If you see there's not a lot of big fish in the water and you don't have smaller crabs, one way that you can do, what you can do then is you take your scissor and you just nip off
some of the legs.
I'm going to nip off all of the legs.
You can throw that crab in a disability parking now.
Yeah. So you can tie that up, but this you can do before you put it on. And you only leave those 2 legs on.
I've also seen some guys over the time that they take off the dop. No, but what they do is they lift it up, they put in a white mussel, or they put in some red bait, and then they close up the dop again. And then they cotton it up.
Yeah, you can.
It's like a slow release.
Okay. So, and that is your second bait that you can use. So that's a little bit of a smaller bait.
Yeah.
A little bit more aerodynamic to throw.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a little bit more distance, you can take off. A lot of the guys do all 4 legs on the line as well.
Yeah.
But
I think if you've got a small crab with all the 4 legs, it's going to just stabilize it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But for the bigger crabs, 2
legs is more than enough.
More
yeah, so that's your next type of bait that you can do with your crab.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's 2 little crab bait presentations that you can do for Musselcrackers.
Yeah.
And the odd big Galjoen will also pick that up. If you're going to a smaller crab like this one, perfect size for your smaller fish.
Yeah.
4.0 heavy. Don't go there with a small cheap 4.0 hook. You're going to get bent open. That thing's going to straighten you up. So yeah, that's a very easy way to get your a red crab bait.
Yeah. And just a quick tip: don't throw away these pieces of legs and stuff. You can hit that with your chocker hammer, blend it nice up, and then you can, when you're building a chocker bait,
yes,
you can put that onto the chocker.
Yes.
You can hit it in like what you would do with a slow release prawn bait.
Yes.
And that will still give the crab scent to the bait, and you can still catch a cracker on that. You can still catch a variety of species, reef species on that. And yeah, that will then just in the water on the chocker bait, giving it its body, it will just give it that slow release of all the crab oils and the...
We have caught smooth ounce, we've caught gully sharks, we've caught cracker, we've caught Belma, we've caught red romans, we've caught Galjoen, we've caught everything on this little red crab bait.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, remember to subscribe. Thanks for Kevin for joining us again, and catch you in the next episode.
Cheers, guys.